Peace, peace, peace. Divine understanding, born of law. You know how we do it. We set the record straight, right? And so they say today's mathematics of understanding the what? Cipher. So when you understand the cipher and you bring about the understanding, it could take you into places like tell us what and how the devil is made. See, the devil is made from the original people by grafting and separating the germs. In the original man's body, there exist two germs, a black germ and a brown germ, or the X and the Y chromosome, right? You have to go into the knowledge free ciphers. Because other than that, you're going to go down into the understanding, and you might say, why did we let a half-original man like Columbus discover the poor part of the planet Earth? See, that's a whole story right in and of itself, right? So, because the original black man is God and owner of the earth and knowing every square inch of it has chosen for himself the best part, he didn't care about the poor part. Columbus was a half-original man and was born in Italy, which is southeast Europe. His full name is Christopher Columbus, and the place that he discovered was North America. He founded the Indians here who were exiled 16,000 years ago from India. They are original people. That's still in Elijah's words. You feel me? There's a book, right? Let's look at this book, right? Because that understanding the cipher bringing you to Christopher Columbus, right? So let's just see where that could take us if we were going to go to the next level, right? We could go to, they came before Columbus, the African presence in ancient America. We could go there, right? We could go African presence in early Asia. We could go there. Because once they start talking about ships and sailing, we could hit those two books from the opening, right? And then we can go to civilization or barbarism, and right from Auntie Diop. We'll go there. That's the next one you're going to do, right? And then I like to use the 1619 Project just for reference points in certain parts that is in modern history. But we really go all the way to 1555. 1619 it just brings out the systemic racism in a nice way that is digestible, right? And so we keep traveling, and we travel to, like I said, pre-colonial Black Africa by Auntie Diop. And the African origin of civilization, myth or reality, Auntie Diop. We just Dioping them to death, ain't we? I mean, you can take it to the next level from the lessons of your bringing people into the science of knowledge itself. So they don't have 120. I'm going to need you to give them some kind of reference point so that they can get to you. You don't have to give them 120 for them to wake them up. 120 is the guide and the subject matter and the boning and the folding of the convolutions of the mind and changing the brain power and things of that nature. It'll do that automatically because you have W.D. Farad, Elijah Muhammad in your head. And then when you bring it to the understanding like a law, when the 5% teach you, then what you see is it's almost like this. W.D. Farad and Elijah Muhammad are together. W.D. Farad asks the question, Elijah Muhammad answers the question. And then what happens is when you get the Father inside of you, you become W.D. Farad and you ask the question. And then you can answer. First somebody's going to be W.D. Farad going to ask you the question after you did your research with 120. And then you're going to be answering. But that's going to get to a point where you're going to be asking the question like W.D. Farad did, and rephrasing the question and rephrasing the answer and answering it. And so you're going to that's why I always say that they trying to deny you the ability to get W.D. Ferrari, Elijah, and the Father in your head and on the convolutions of your brain by telling you, oh, we're gonna redo it and we're gonna upgrade it, and you don't really need it this way, and I don't use 120, and I don't use mathematics, and it's racist and all, but you still using the English language and running behind the devil, trying to get Federal Reserve notes and paying your taxes and all the other dumb shit that go along with being with the devil, but you don't want to do the things that go along with being with God. That's why you probably still eating crustaceans and worshiping white Jesus without even knowing that you're worshiping white Jesus. If you're eating a Western diet and you manifest yourself with the amino acids that eventually the protein that the Western diet tells you to eat, and those eventually turn into amino acids, and you use that to build the structure of your physical composition, and you're not using Leviticus and Deuteronomy. So then you're just relying on the devil to teach you how to eat to live. And so that's not really a good plan. You feel me? Anyway, let's go back to Destruction of the Black Civilization by Chancellor Williams. That's another foundational book that you'll need when you're talking about understanding the 1 to 14, understanding the degree in the 1 to 14, understanding that degree, right? Well, it's not, from Superman to Man, J.A. Rogers. Well, in the opening, so in the opening of Knowledge Yourself, right? In the opening of Knowledge Yourself, what we usually do, pause for one moment, pardon me. Peace. So what I was saying was, in the opening of Knowledge Yourself, the very first part of it is the fasting. You need that 3-day fast. That's part of the ritual, the rites, the culture I God. The culture is I God. See what I'm saying? You're like, where'd you get that from? The culture is I God. I didn't say the culture is I God. I got it from the lesson. The lesson say the culture is I God. All right? We know that, right? That's why the book is called The Culture is I God, Book 1 and Book 2. And soon to come out with The Culture is I God, Book 1, 2, and 3. We'll put that in one volume. And into the back of it, I'm going to put food. I'm going to make the other book called Food, and I'm going to put it all in one book. So when you grab the book, you get the whole book with everything, all the books in it. I might even put the green book in the back there for y'all, too, and add that onto the cipher. But I usually have the green book as a separate book that's mostly order. Only the order really has that book. We just don't really just give that out right like that. And now we're going to move on to the next. Oh, so that's why I was saying the rational, not Herod, I think is his name. Arnold Herod. Rational Fasting. That's a good book to look at, read. To understand 1619 Project, if you really want to understand that to the next level, of Knowledge Yourself in it, you want to read Stolen Legacy by George G.M. James. For centuries, the world has been misled about the original sources of the arts and sciences. That's how George G.M. James starts out, right? So you know his book is off the chain. Very enlightening. All right. Now, we're not going off the subject because the subject is understanding the cipher. And then we're going to bring it right down to the understanding. So universal, non-divine, equality, rules, sacred, truth, Allah, non-divine, I now, God. And that's going to give you knowledge, power, cipher. And then knowledge and then power. And then that's going to give you that equality. Right? And we're going to travel to... when you hit the equality, you start thinking about the fasting. And then you also want to think about the physical conditioning. Knowledge Yourself conditioning. Right? How to bust free from all weaknesses. Using the lost secrets of supreme survival strength. right? Now, there's a book this guy wrote. It's a pretty good book. I remember the guy that came home, right? He had, he did the Marines first, then he went Navy, and then he came on home, right? He was like, I'm done with this. But he said in his travels he had came across this book called Convict? Yeah, I think it said Convict. It was Convict Conditioning. And it was some guy named Paul Wade. By Paul Wade. The guy swore by the book. It'll use him. Hey, sorry, we can't do nothing else. We got to burn you. So they'll throw you in the furnace. Remember, I have fire. You have fire. If the physical composition doesn't have fire, then you're not in there. There's 5 elements, right? 4 is dealing with the physical body of earth, air, fire, water. And those 4 elements are manifested at the correct equilibrium. And you can get inside the thumb. You're there. You can stay in there. Can't stay in that body if those 4 things aren't right and exact. Of course, you're a triangle when you jump in there. You can't get in as one. You have to get in as 3. That's why you see the 3 in heart, stomach, brain. You see it on the physical plane, but it's the triangle manifesting itself, right? And then the 1. So 1 and the 3, the 5 fits inside the manifestation of your chakra and all of that, right? But the cranial, the 3s, right? That's why you can look at your hands and see the 5s, and you can look at your toes and see the 5s. The pendulum swing manifests in everything. The 5 points. In the Justice, it says the 5 points of the star represent the child. The child is 5 points on the star. Why? Everybody is a child, and then they're an adult, and they're a teenager. Everybody is that. If you stay on Earth long enough, you get to be a teenager, and then you keep climbing up. You're an adult. And then you become a seasoned adult. When you're in your 30s, you've been around long enough that people think you shouldn't be slipping up. They don't see you the same way in your 20s as they see you in your 30s. You a grown man in your 30s and you a grown woman in your 30s. You know life is different than it was when you was in your 20s. You know now is if you weren't getting serious in 25, so that by the time you got 30, you was dead ass serious. Then you knew by the time you hit 32, you fucked up, and you need to step your game plan up. Now you have to double up your shit so that by the time you hit 35, you good. But it'd be AM, right? So I could have just said it'd be the law's master in that time frame, right? And they would say, oh. But in the Gregorian calendar, that's right. And so we just keeping it simple and stayed in the Gregorian calendar. Of course, if we want to go into the Adab chamber, we would talk into the Asiatic calendar. Adabs want to talk in the Asiatic calendar. Overachievers and all them, they want to study all that extra science dealing with the first degree. In the 1 to 40. See? Well, you had the right to go to the first degree in the 1 to 40 because you were already in the understanding cipher degree in the 1 to 40. Right? Now, when you're looking at that triangle and the physical composition being the circle, right? And you say, because all of the Kabbalistic tree of life manifestations, Kabbalah and the numerals that we see in mathematics, and all that is manifesting itself as the number, but without sound. once you speak about it physically out of your mouth, you make it math and alphabet, because you're talking the math now. You only can keep it math if you just write on the board the actual numerals and just do all the math on it, and people look at it. They're saying it to you what you wrote, but they might not know that that one means knowledge too. So you also have language with your mathematics. Without language in your mathematics, you won't be just like everybody else. You won't be able to see what you see. You see it because when you see a letter, you know it's knowledge, and you also know that the knowledge, what it is. What's the numeral value of knowledge? You know what that is. So you can look at that and see that, what they will not be able to see. And so when I'm saying to you that today's mathematics is understanding the cipher, all being born to understanding, you see it all inside your head, right? And then when I say let's go to the understanding cipher degree in the 1 to 40, we all could follow that. And if I tell you which way I'm looking at the mathematics as far as when I'm saying how I see today's mathematics in 120, right? Because you could be looking at 120 lessons as how you see today's mathematics. But if you don't have your lessons in the same order as I have mine, we won't have the same understanding sight. We won't be looking at the same degree. That's what I'm saying. Some people have the 1 to 14 in back of their 1 to 10. And so their understanding cipher will be different than yours. We're going to go. I want you to look at that degree. And then remember now, this guy is a plagiarizer and he robbed the tombs and he had a lot of money in trust funds and all that from way back with the Rothschild era, and when they had swords and they was doing all that robbing the gold and all that. All right. And so Albert Pike, Morals and Dogma, the writing, you have to have knowledge of to kind of see the truth of falsehood, strange and myth, because they always try to make it look like it's them, somewhere it happened with them, some ancient, unknown European ancient nation that founded everything is what they teach. That's so they could keep they be talking about we be trying to black people use black science to try to raise their consciousness so they could have a better self-esteem. No. See, that's what you've been doing since Yakub. You've been doing that to your people, telling them now they believe those lies. It's going to take 70 years. Every time you tell those lies, he has to reinforce them, but it takes about 70 years. And then the lie gets broken, and they have to reinforce it. And you'll see it. Track it back. Watch, see how they going so crazy on this 1619. Really? So you're saying that it's not that. Oh, that's teaching us to... It's telling the truth of what you did. Now, it doesn't matter when you say, we're going to tell them what happened. Yeah, because it's that era now in the world that everybody should know the achievements of Lamb's Wool. You ain't in that colonizing era now. You already colonized the planet now. You run the monetary system. Y'all got it right now. So why would you still be trying to hold on to the falsehood part? Because you're the devil. Right? Only the devil likes to hold on to the devils. And so now, that makes me think of Dune. Dune, the Red Planet. Dune, Navigators. Dune, Tales of Dune. Then it's going to take you into Saladin. that's gonna make you go. I mean, it just keeps going back around to you start saying, "Oh, why does the devil call our people African?" Because the concept is they got you looking at Africa. We supposed to be looking at the planet, her. You can't say, "Well, I just want to make sure my right arm is good," dude. I'm gonna need you to look at your feet. You might want to make sure they're good. People don't be even caring about their toes. If their nails on their hand look like their toenails, they would then went to the doctor and said something's got to be done about that. Like, what the hell? See? You don't be looking at the most important thing is, like I said, the foundation. So that's why you want to set those lessons up that way and put those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now you know where your foundation is at, and you know where the top of the penthouse is Pluto, right? We can't get any further than that in the lesson. I mean, you could go next level, but I'm saying, right in 120, right? When we hit 120, we hit Pluto, 3,680,000,000 miles away from the sun, right? Boom, that's your arm, I mean, you can't get no further than that. That's a straight sun punch right to the face. Bow, he dropped. So we go back down to the foundation. We know we all at the same foundation, right? And since we at the same foundation, we gonna meet up in certain points. Since we on different sides of the pyramid, we gonna meet up on other points, right? So that brings me right back to what I was saying, where I say those three. Look at those three brains. See, the brain is an organ, and the mind is throughout the body. So, once you understand that, it just keeps bringing me back to the circle triangle, right? So, when I look at the circle triangle, I'm gonna put you into some this book, I want to spell it out for you because everybody has so many different of this word. And then they'll confuse it with the other one, quabalistics and all of that, right? But I specifically mean the King Y Born Allah, Love I Cipher Now, that book, and it's by the three initiates. Get that, and the italicized parts is what you really want to take as the lesson. Take that degree out. Now then when you can look at his interpretation of that, his interpretation is not bad. But you'll have it better if you already have 120. You'll have it way better. Especially if you know and understand the first degree in the 1 to 10, the first degree in the 1 to 36. The first degree in the 1 to 14, and the first degree in the 1 to 40. Once you get that package, and I don't know if you ever seen that package, but that package is banging, and I don't mean it's a physical package where you can go say, "Oh, give me that bag of that." No. I'm talking about if you do the knowledge to that cipher and you really understand who the original man is, for real, like we say in the hood, I'm going to need you to really get that down. Like, it takes years to understand who the original man is because you have programming from 1555 in the physical composition all the way down to the cellular level at the DNA. It's crossing across the blood barrier lines, that kind of trauma. If I give you trauma your whole life while you had children and they had children and they had children, I bang you in your head all the way from 1555 to 1965. That's how long they banged you in your head on the physical part of it, like in bondage. You feel me? And then they released the physical bondage maybe 1/3, I want to say, maybe 1/5 to 1/3, depending on what your economic situation is. And then they still banging you in the head, no matter which side your economics is. They banging you in the head. When I say banging you in the head, I'm saying it's not physical. It's everything else coming at you on so many levels that I have to point you to books so you can understand what I'm talking about, right? All right, so for a quick read, yeah, so you could just get the grip of what I'm saying. There's a book called How White Folks Got So Rich: The Untold Story of American White Supremacy. Get that. That'll be a good start. But like I was saying, if you want to bang them in their head with that high science of understanding the first degree and the 1 to 10, see, yes, quote all the degrees, and then come every time you get to the new degree that you're quoting, and now you're quoting that degree, and then when it's time to test yourself, you got to go all the way back to the beginning of where you're at, from when you, and then you go back to the first degree and you quote that again. Oh, I got that down. Then you quote the, oh yeah, I got that down. Oh yeah, I got that down. You keep going all the way back to the one that you are still quoting and learning how to quote. That's how you keep it. Then what ends up happening is the first one that you quoted always is going to be so much more embedded in. That's why we like to go all the way back to the mathematics. So if you make that flip going all the way around and come back. That's when they say I'm renewing my history, doing the complete circle from knowledge to born, from born back to knowledge. That's the physical aspects of what they're doing, right? So that it's ingrained. Those are what's called training exercise. If you don't train, you will not have the muscle memory. It won't be there. You don't train. Yes. Once you quote the lessons, it's always inside of you. But I'm going to give you a little, it can erode. You can lose it. It'll be there. It's on the hard drive. It never leaves. You might not have access to it. That's really what it is. It's there, but you don't have real access to it. The muscle memory, you start training again, boom, it'll come right back way quicker than it would if you had never trained. That's why I know when you said, oh, I quote my lesson, I'm saying, okay, no problem. Go ahead, quote it. And then you stumbled and you didn't know how to quote it because you hadn't quoted it in so long. But I'm like, don't worry about that. That's not, you don't know. You getting nervous. Don't get nervous. That's making you, because you want to be anxious to quote the degree. Not that you're nervous because you're afraid, but it's anxiety. It's going to be there. It's the physical composition is going to do that. It's trying to find the file. It's getting crazy about it. And so this is how you calm it down. Just go grab the file physically. Especially if you could grab the one that you really learned how to quote on. And as soon as your mind sees it, it's going to go right back in. And if you read it. Read it just once. Who is the original man? The original man is Asiatic black man, the maker, the owner, the cream of the planet Earth, father of civilization, and God of the universe. Now, once you read that again, man, just a couple more times, it'll go right back in. I don't care the longest degree you can find. Why did Muhammad make the double study from 35 to 50 years? You could go to that one. You didn't read it in a long time. We used to always our favorite was Build to Destroy. I don't know what made Grand Hill Snow an earthquake. It just flowed. That Stolen Legacy, George G.M. James would give you that understanding of the psychotrauma that you've been taken through, right? Why they keep saying knowledge of self always has something to do with history. Because think about it, he took your language, your culture, your creed, your history. You really know where you're from. You kind of think maybe Africa, but then the psychotrauma make you not really want to be down with Africa, and you like saying they don't really like me, and see where we going right into the separation part. But watch, this fixes that. Once you understand that the trauma started when the devil left Pelon, Now you see it's a really long time, right? Don't think 1555 unless you're just thinking about what happened here with the original people from Alaska to Chile as far as the trauma. But the start of all the devilishment starts in the year 9000. It was the year 9001. That was the start of it. And as time progressed, it got to the point where we're at now. So he took your culture, creed, language, everything from you. Nothing. You have nothing. You don't even know starting point. See, if you don't have a reference point. So now I'm going to show you your starting point. You're from the planet Earth. You're the first people on the planet. You're the most ancientest nation on Earth is you. Lamb wool. You're the first. So don't think of continents because he broke them up and lied about that. He calls Africa a continent, but there's not a break in between the definition of continent. There's no break in the water to show that a continent would be more like from Alaska to Chile and from South Africa all the way to into Russia, and if you go the other way, all the way to the Rock of Gibraltar, the only thing that would be the break off would be the island Britain. They're not really on that continent. You have to swim to get them in, but everybody else can walk to each other. You see what I'm saying? How truth and falsehood strangely mixed. That's not real what you're saying when you call that Middle East, Africa. And so if you think in those concepts, it keeps you in the division, and that's what the lesson is talking about when it's trying to tell you why. That's one question. Here's another one. Why does the devil call our people African? Why does the devil keep our own people apart from their social equality? You see what I'm saying? Why did we take Jerusalem from the devil? How long ago? That's really where it starts. Really, because I do like Yakub, put the zero in the middle and go negative 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 to 360, and then you got the positive one going from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 360, right? And then that's why they said 720 degrees in the wrong direction, and then that made him go into illusion. There's 6 extra degrees. And Yakub likes illusion. He deals with illusion. He keeps you in illusion. And so the fasting, the beginning, that 3 days of fasting is something that you incorporate, like the way the Muslims want to do Ramadan. We do that kind of a ritual that they're doing only once a year during the moon. We do that every day. That's why they're supposed to make salat 5 times a day. And you're supposed to be building. If your building is based on the mathematics, then you're supposed to be building all the time. You need all these different formulas because you're doing it so much, and your brain doesn't want to keep eating chicken. The same thing. If you want to keep it, you don't never want it to be dull. That's why you keep it going. You start going into the plus and the books and this. Because it's supposed to be like a PhD in this. We supposed to be putting out better than a minister. You God. Supposed to come out true and living God and the true and living earth. That means it's a constant study. If you MGT and GCC, and you know exactly what I mean about this food. When we knew about the wheat and the glyphosate and Agent Orange because we all read the books and stuff like that. But we didn't understand the magnitude of how they were giving it to us and killing your microbiome. Besides, be knowing that God know his lessons. That's what you'll be saying. Or, man, he don't know no lesson. I heard that before too. He was, this, that. Just because they're an entertainer, somebody's an entertainer, and they kind of talk this, people will think that they this. And they might even think they this too. But they not really this. You know when you this, when everybody is against you, and now it's just you, and you by yourself, and you still this. And you be saying, I don't care, I'm still this. Then you know you this. That's how you be knowing. It is easy to be this when everything going good. See, like right now, in my world, And I don't want to be all superstitious in that and knock on wood, but I just say inshallah, If it pleases Allah, right? And I ain't talking about no mystery of Allah neither. Arm, leg, head, original man, 4,400,000,000, land war. So I'm talking about real talk. Who's the original man? Original man is a black man, make on the cream planet for our civilization, God, the universe. So when we say that, we showing and proving, you know what I'm saying, that 4,400,000,000 can take this planet back. My word is bond. But right now, everybody ain't ready to do that. They not ready, so you need to take your planet back, your physical composition. You need to take that back. That's why that 3-day fast is a real thing. Like you don't understand, like you're not keeping up. If you don't keep up, and I don't mean like you ain't keeping up with this. No, if you don't keep up, take it to the next level every day. If you ate like this today and you ain't at the level where I'm at, then you're stagnating. Tomorrow you still doing the same shit you was doing yesterday, but you know better today. That's how we doing it now. Real talk. Like the other day, right? The guard posters. Man writing exact food. But before that, I'm just saying the guard. I'm not saying they in the 5%. Black man is God. Right? So I'm not gonna be calling my black people names that allude to slavery. That's what I'm saying. So if I'm talking about the God, like young boys say the nigga, they mean all men. When I say the God, I mean all Asiatic men, black, brown, red, yellow, right? White man, civilization, civilized man. If I'm talking about a civilized man like that, but sometimes I'm talking about the colonizer, not the civilized one. It's civilized Europeans is trying to do what they supposed to do and whatever it is, whatever. Like, but the God said the devil is doing his motherfucking job. You need to do yours. See, the devil is making glyphosate. His job is to destroy. Your job is to build. So what are you doing? You tell, oh, the devil, You helping the devil. I'm looking at your record, right? I'm looking at your record. And I don't see nothing in there that looked like that had something to do with you went to jail because it was 120, it was knowledge itself, it was Morris sign, it was Hebrew, it was Kemet, it was Pan-African, it was civil rights, it was, I don't know, Black Panther. It was none of that. It was none of those. It had nothing to do with no knowledge of self on no level. So how the fuck you talking about, man, if you don't get out of my motherfucking face with that stupid shit, I don't want to hear that. I really don't. I don't give a fuck. I don't gotta talk to you and help you. Why I gotta help? Motherfuckers, you crazy? I'm helping these babies who got knowledge and stuff and they getting ready to hit this gauntlet by theyself. They not even born yet. I don't even give a fuck about you born niggas. And y'all don't give a fuck about yourself. Why should I care?